It looks like to me we are building a team. This is so awesome. That first pick, ooh, Zion Johnson. Well, now we need to figure out what are we going to get. Are we going to go in the second round? I kind of doubt it. I don't think they have the draft capital to do it. But what are we going to do? Wait till the third, then, huh? Are we going to get a wide receiver? Because I mean, is that even possible? Could it be somebody like Calvin Austin? I don't know. I mean, this has been so wacky. They've been swapping around picks all over the place. Not the Chargers. They've been staying pat, but boy, I mean, the Lions moving around, Vikings moving around. Oof. Um, well, you know, I still think, I still think there's the plan is still in effect. I don't think that that's changed. Um, Looking back a couple of months ago, when I did a video, the plan of attack was to get, right guard, right tackle, try to get that, you know, solidified to where the offensive line was not going to be an issue. Well, this is a huge, huge step toward that. And man, um, I mean, this guy is good. The guy they picked up is good, and that's really going to make a difference for this team. It's going to help the team be able to run to the right and the left, not just behind Slater and Filer, but also now behind Johnson and who else are they going to get? That's the thing. They're gonna. I don't think they're done. I don't think they're finished with that with the right tackle. Um, Pipkins could probably do it. Uh, he finally did kind of get with it, and in a couple of games that he started last year, he didn't do bad. I mean, he looked pretty good. So could he be one? I don't think so. I think they're actually going to go with a probable, I would say, answer for it in free agency. I do believe that they're going to get a uh, a wide receiver in the next round. Um, if there's somebody there that they really like, it could go defensive back. Um, they could go safety. They could go defensive back. They could you know there's a lot of ways they could go. Um, but to get Zion Johnson with the first pick, I thought that was good. That was good. They're staying with their plan. They're not jumping all over the place. They're trying to build a team. Going by even what they said after the draft, the first round was over. Staley and Telesco both commented on it, saying that they want to build a rough, tough, solid team, and the way you do that is you have to have that front line solid, and they're doing that. They did it with the defense earlier, picking up players. They started doing it with the offense last year by getting Slater, Corey Linsley, so Filer. They've had to deal with a few injuries, so that kind of set them back a little bit because it looked really good when they first set it out there as an offensive line last year. But injuries kind of decimated it up a little bit on the right side. But I think that they've got a real good opportunity if they stay on their plan, and I think they will. Um, I don't see them, getting away from. They don't need a lot. This team does not need a lot. They need to stay focused. They need to stay with their plan. Um, and their plan seems to be, let's just build a winning team that is going to be not just a winning team, but a capable team of being dynasty. Maybe, maybe. That could happen. Um, if they keep getting these kind of players that are that solid, um, then they could. They because like I said, they really didn't need much to add to this team, and they've already done it through free agency earlier. They've already made this team a playoff team. I mean, they were within seconds being able to stop the Las Vegas Raiders last year from making the playoffs. So it looks like to me that they are well on their way. Now, can they shore it up a little bit? You bet. Can they make it to where they're not just a playoff team, they're not just a Super Bowl contender, but they're on a level of maybe domination? Yeah. Yeah, they could. They could, but it's gonna take a little bit more work. They got a few more little pieces of the puzzle they have to, you know, pick up and put in and hope that everything works together, goes together. Um, it looks good right now. Looks very good. Everything they've done so far up to this point, to me, has been spot on. I mean, uh, you can't get much better a defensive line than what they have right now. What they have right now is going to be killer. Can they can they do something about maybe their linebacking, issue? Because they do have an issue there. Maybe. Um, it depends on how Staley actually views the linebackers because he seems to be able to work around that without much of a problem. He did that with the Rams. Didn't have much of a problem. Picked up a player, um, the name escapes me right at the second. Um, ah, anyway, he picked up a player from the Rams for the linebacker. Just got him not too long ago. I don't know why I have to. My mind's not working this morning. Stayed up too late. Too much enjoyment on watching the draft. Anyway, um, to get back to what we're going to do though, it looks to me, reader, boom, there you go, reader. Uh, wow, I don't know why that slipped my mind. Anyway, uh, and he's good. He's a good piece because he knows what Staley's doing. So is that a finished product though on the linebacking issue? I don't think so. I think they are going to go after another linebacker. Um, I really like Jesse Lukita. I'm hoping that he's available in the seventh round. That would be I think, a good solid pickup because he's also pretty solid with the in special teams. So, what else are they going to do? I figure they'll probably get. I don't know how soon in the picks, but if they don't move any of their picks around, if they don't, they've got some good picks left. They got a couple of sixth rounders, so 4 7 rounders. So there's a lot that they could actually add to this team. That when I first did a video earlier, I was thinking, well, they're probably. I doubt if those guys are going to be there. I didn't expect for uh, you know Jordan Davis to be there or Jameson Williams. I really didn't expect them two guys to be there when they picked 17, and they weren't. So I was kind of thinking, though, I didn't realize that everybody and their dog was going to move their picks, jumble them, move around, and I didn't realize all the picks were that were taken were going to pretty well deplete the extra, sexy picks, the picks that the Chargers, if everybody would have stayed kind of a even keel and not jumped all over the place, a couple of quarterbacks maybe taken in the first, you know, 12, 13 picks, 14 picks, that would have changed it up a lot. And then the Chargers would have had maybe that pick to choose from. They didn't. They had to stick within their plan of a of a complete overhaul of the lines that they've done in the last 2 years. That's what they've done. So, hey, sticking with that plan, we're gonna keep building. We're gonna make them tough and rugged, and that's gonna be a focal point. Good, solid foundation, that type of thing. So that hasn't changed. So, if you're looking at it in a kind of a outside take from it, it's like, well, okay, that makes sense for them to do that. If you're looking at it on the inside, you're thinking, okay, I wish we would have taken somebody a little bit, but there wasn't really anybody there. They had to get the guy that's going to be the most beneficial for their need, and it was a need. It was not a horrible thing to do that they could move players around and stuff like this. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to go ahead and just draft a solid player, somebody that's going to be probably there, maybe an all pro. I mean, Zion Johnson's very good, very strong. He's smart, very athletic. He can protect the quarterback on the right side, open lanes up for the running back. I mean, this is a very good pick. So looking past this first pick, which I have no problem with. I think it was solid. Very, very solid. Um, what do we do about getting maybe a speed receiver? I think Calvin Austin is definitely in the mix. He could go in the third round, maybe fourth, because I don't know how people kind of view him. Um, and there's some options later in the draft to get somebody like Master Teague. That's a guy that I really like in the later rounds for running back because that is a need. So if you look at this, they've got some good options. I really, really am high on Master Teague. I think he's a he's a very solid, fast, has good balance. Um, doesn't have a lot of tape on him, but boy, what I saw was very eye opening. I don't know how he could be so far down the list, to be honest with you, because that guy is really talented. Um, got pretty good hands. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He's got good awareness of where he's at running through the hole. He makes moves. He's limber a little bit. He can run over you. The guy's got a lot of power. He's a big guy. I mean, he's not a small man. He's 5'11", 225. That's a pretty good horse. I mean, he's got some muscle on him. So, and speed, um, kind of surprised me with what his 40 time was. It's very good. So, I think it was 4.3. I want to say 3.8 or 3.7. That's pretty fast for a running back his size. Um, I mean it, you're starting to get into that higher level of running back now when you're talking about that kind of speed, that kind of power, that kind of athleticism. And he did it for a year. Finally, he waited his time. He got his shot at being a number one running back, and he looked good. There was nothing wrong with what he was doing in Ohio State. He looked good, and so I see that as a possible, hopefully possible. It's hard to say because everybody's jumping all over the place, picking different players. I look for him to be in the NFL with somebody. Hopefully, the Chargers. We need him. We actually need a guy like this. We need a power back. We need somebody that can spill for Austin Eckler. That would be just Uh, that would be awesome. I would be excited, like I am over already over Zion Johnson. I mean, excuse me, that guy, uh, he's got some strength. I've watched, some video on him, uh, pancaking people. I mean, he's a road grader, and he's got a little attitude. That is good. Yeah, hey, it doesn't hurt. That actually helps. So, but he's not misplaced. He seems awful quiet, very attentive, can learn the offense because he was in a pro style offense. So, uh, Boston College was running a pro style offense. A lot of NFL coaches were there. Um, so the system kind of promotes players from there a lot easier because they can adjust to the style of a NFL offense better than a lot of these other college coaches that just run they don't run the pro style offense. So it looks to me he'll fit in, I think, pretty easily, and he's going to make a difference on this offensive line. Um, so if we go get, let's just say we go after, oh, I don't know. Um, I mean, everything was so jumbled up. I kind of see us maybe going after another wide receiver. Definitely. I mean, we're going to need somebody with some speed. Um, it's not a big need. Running back, I think is almost as even of a need as your speed wide receiver because we do have receivers that are very good. We do have running backs that I believe now with Zion Johnson is going to be better. You got Austin Eckler, which is he's a fantastic player, but you've got you know backups that really they need now they need rather than getting hit after they get the ball 2 yards before they get to the line. Now when they get the ball, there's going to be some lane openings, so they may not need a running back. These guys may and pick it up a little bit, um, not being so I don't know, just not really being able to get in a groove, um, and getting hit before you get to the line of scrimmage. I mean, even Austin Eckler had to make moves a lot of times before he ever got out of the backfield from blitzes and pass rushes and rushes from the right side on the defensive side, rushing you from the right side. Very rarely did you see it on the left side. However, also what you didn't see is teams not not allowing us to run the ball on the left as much. When it came to when you needed 2, 3, 4 yards, you know, when teams start stacking one side, then they start shutting it down when you need it the most. Like when Staley went for it against the Raiders, and he ran it on the left side. Well, they knew we weren't going to run it on the right side. So if we're going to run it at all, it'll be on the left. And sure enough, he was met head on about 2 yards before he got to the line. That wasn't on the line as much as it is on the left side. They were just overwhelmed. They had more people than they could block. So, you know, you got to stop that from happening so much. Yeah, is it going to happen once in a while? It will anyway. There's things that happen, chances that defenses take. Um, and then when you run a play, it gets blown up. I mean, it happens. But this was a consistent thing. And it was mainly because we ran about 5 yards a carry to the left and about three something to the right. So you're talking about, more than a yard difference average on the right side to the left side. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it was three something. I mean, I don't remember exactly the numbers. It doesn't really matter. That's going to change. So the running backs now that we have, they're not going to have so much pressure just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there'll be actual holes opening up. You know, that makes a difference. That makes a huge difference on how your team moves the ball down the field. Um, not only is the run game going to be better, the passing game is going to be better too. And it was pretty good. You know, Hervey Hervey's pretty good. We all know that, right? So you look at Herbert now being able to maybe stand back there a little bit longer rather than having to move right after he gets the ball. Um, you give him a pocket for a couple of seconds. Uh, I don't know how you gonna cover these guys. There's so many weapons that the Chargers have. How are you gonna cover them for say 4 seconds, 5 seconds? You're not gonna be able to do it. Not without blitzing. And if you blitz, he's gonna pepper you with throwing the ball. You did that anyway. So this all it does is make the offense more lethal, which it was pretty lethal. Number 4 or 5 ranked offense in the NFL last year. Pretty damn lethal already. So now what do we need to solidify all this stuff? Do we play with some of these picks? Do we go ahead and get, a punter? Do we get Matt Ariza? I would. Why not? You got plenty of picks. If he's there in the fifth or sixth round, go ahead and get him. I mean, the man's a phenom. He's crazy good. Go ahead and get him. Why not? All you're going to do is if he doesn't, match up to what he did in college, you've got a punter already that's pretty good. He's got a history of being pretty good. So it's not like you have to have a punter, but if you're going to have somebody, go up against your ace punter or the guy they've got right now, the one they've signed free agent signing, at least make it to where he's going to have to work at it. I think that Ariza could possibly not only just be your punter, I think he could be a hell of a punter. Um, the guy can flip the field, that kind of a thing. Do you go after him? Do you go after a wide receiver, Calvin Austin? Do you go after another lineman? Do you? I mean, it's kind of hard to say. Uh, do you go after a linebacker? Do you go after a safety, cornerback? I mean, there's some talent still there. It's going to be harder to get by waiting. So in some of the cases, to make a guy that's going to just step right in and play. But there's definitely talent there, and this team with Staley and Telesco working as hard as they are together to build this team the way they're building it. I've never seen them do this. I haven't seen the Chargers this good since Don Coryell. I know we had one or about 1 or 2 years there um, with Marty Schottenheimer, and it the team looked the team was good. The team was very good, but it lacked special teams. Special teams was terrible. Worst special teams, I think, history of the Chargers. So there was always some kind of deficiency, is what I'm trying to get at. Staley and Telesco are actually trying to make it where there isn't one. Big difference. And so the guys they get now, I would look for guys that can play special teams and that are very reliable on the position that they play. In other words, if they're a linebacker, I expect him to be able to be a special teams pretty solid on special teams. Or he's going to be you know, uh, uh, a linebacker, a middle linebacker, outside linebacker, inside linebacker. He's going to be a versatile player. Is what I'm trying to get at. Um, it'll be the same thing with running back. And going back on Master Teague, one I've really been digging on. Uh, he could also be a kick returner. He's fast enough. So there's a lot of things you could do with these guys. There's a safety out of Baylor, JT Woods. I really like him. I really like him. He's 6'2", 190, a little bit on the light side, but he's got some length and he's fast. I'm all for the speed thing. Um, on this end of the draft, now that we've got our line pretty well, solidified, um, you're looking at now, I think, getting speed. Calvin Austin speed is ridiculous, but he is a blur, and I think they could go after him. They may go after uh, Jalen Watson type player. Um, but I don't think he was taken by anybody. I don't believe he was. It sounds like it's maybe I might be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think he's still available. If he is, he'd be great in the third round. So if he's still there, Chargers may go after him. Um, I would love to get Daniel Falili as right tackle. Don't think the Chargers. Don't. He's not going to be there in the third round. If he was there in the third round, I'd take him. If he was there, oh my god. I mean, can you imagine a 6'8", 390-pound man on the end of your line that's already a solid line? Can you imagine? Oh my god. Do you talking about being able to run the ball? Holy crap. How are you gonna stop a team from how are you gonna stop the Chargers from running the ball if they had him on the right side? Um, you're not. You're not gonna stop them. They're gonna get a yard or 2. If they need a yard or 2, they're gonna get it because he's too big. That guy, I watched tape on him and, oh my god, fell in love with the guy. Thought, "Oh, jeez," if he came over to the Chargers, that would be that would be sweet. Um, so, there's options there. I doubt if he's gonna be there for the Chargers, but boy, if he was, man, ah, I'd love it. I would love it. Anyway, um, there's players that the Chargers can get. I don't think they're gonna go, after a right tackle, offensive tackle now after getting a guard. Kinda don't I mean, they might do it, and if they did, I get it, but they may not. They may start looking at, okay, who's the best player? Okay, we've got, XYZ, this guy rated higher than this guy. And the reason I don't know who they could pick is I had a feeling they were gonna go offensive line. They had a chance. They had an option, I think. I believe Penning went after Johnson did. They didn't take Penning, but I kinda thought they would because that's your right tackle, you know? Didn't do it. So they're focused. They're laser focused on what they wanna do. And all the talk, all these mock drafts, all this stuff that, everybody does oh, they're, like everybody knows something. No, they ain't knowing nothing. So it's like your guess is as good as mine. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm enjoying the heck out of this because to me the Chargers are looking stronger and stronger and stronger. They're building a real formidable team, not just a formidable, passing attack or a formidable running attack or a formidable blitz package team or, good against the run or good against the pass. This team's going to be good all the way around. That's something, Charger fans, you got to be happy about. You got to be loving this. I know I am. I'm just like, woo, ecstatic. It's like great. I've been waiting for this for years. So I think that the next day here or the next few picks, we're gonna get to see some things from the Chargers that maybe eye opening, maybe a little bit. Okay, wow, I get it. All right, may not be what everybody thinks they should get, but I'll bet you money that it'll be a puzzle piece. I don't think they're gonna just throw away, draft picks. They're gonna be laser focused. They're not gonna be jumping all over the place, trying to get players and moving back and moving up and moving sideways and all those kind of things. They're very focused, which is extremely important right now. And the reason it's so important is because this team is already a playoff team. It's like the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are already a playoff team. They don't need very much of anything. They go and get what they want, thinking that's what they need. You're done. They're ready to kick some booty. All right. To me, that's the team that I would be more concerned with over any other team in the NFL right now. The Buffalo Bills. They look that good. But I don't think they're going to have home field advantage. That's just my opinion. I think the Chargers are going to have home field advantage. They don't have the they don't they're in a division that it's very difficult, especially on the other home field, going to Pittsburgh, going to not Pittsburgh, going to Miami, going to New England. Those teams going to the Jets. That those teams are very already, you know, hard to beat in their city. I don't see them going, 6-0 against their division. I don't. I actually do with the Chargers. I don't see anybody beating them in their division. I don't. Yeah, Kansas City, they got a good player in the draft. No doubt about it. But they're not as stacked as they were. You don't see Tyreek Hill there now. And that's just my opinion. I just don't see them as being as dominant. Um, they almost got their butts beat by the Chargers twice last year. I don't see that. I don't see that changing. I see it. I mean, I don't. I see it changing. I see it changing. The Chargers win both games. I don't see them losing because of their defense, and their defense lost it for them. The defense lost the Oakland Raider game, or not the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders lost the Raiders game. So you know, I see this as a team that's going to be very, very competitive. We're going to see this draft kind of solidify that competitive edge that they're going to have. I think it's all coming together. We'll see. We'll see who they get. It's exciting. Woo! Is this like big time stuff? I mean, if you like football, you gotta like this. If you're a Charger like I am, been a Charger fan for 50 years, this is huge, man. This is like, oh God, I can't wait for this season to start. So hopefully everybody stays healthy. I got some more digging I'm gonna do on some other players and see what the Chargers do tonight. This ought to be a blast. Enjoy it. Hey, Charger fans, enjoy it, man. It's been years since we've been in this position of being able to have fun. I mean, most of the time it's like, oh boy, they got to, they're going to get a wide receiver or something like that. I mean, it's always something to do with that doesn't build the foundation. Staley, different story. Telesco is helping him provide him with the tools that this team looking better and better every day. All right. Well, you guys have yourself a great evening. Go Bolts. Hit me up a like if you want. That would be great. And let's kick some butt. All right. Let's get some players that we really, really need. Not that we need that much, but okay, let's go. Let's enjoy it. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.